Welcome to Soul Knowledge. I'm your host, Rocky Cave. Tune in to Wellness. We are souls having a human experience, and this podcast is where we remember that. Your soul has lived lifetimes. It has a history, a purpose, and a wisdom that goes deeper than anything your mind can analyze. My work through Reiki, hypnotherapy, past life regression, subconscious healing, and intuitive transformation is to help you not just learn about your soul, but to actually know it. Here I'll be sharing real stories from real sessions, lessons from the unseen, and truth-telling about what healing really looks like. The messy, mystical, holy, human, sometimes hilarious, often uncomfortable, absolutely life-changing parts of it all. And I'll warn you now, if you don't like the honest language or the occasional well-placed F-bomb, this is not the podcast for you. Because sometimes the most spiritual thing you can say is, fuck this, I'm done repeating this pattern. So let's take a breath. Tune in. Let go of what you think you know. And let's drop into the wisdom your soul's been trying to give you all along. Welcome home. Welcome to Soul Knowledge. Welcome back to the Soul Knowledge Podcast. This is Rocky, and today we are talking about something that I believe changes everything once you truly understand it. So this conversation has the power to completely shift the way you see yourself, because so many people are walking around believing that they lack discipline, they can't stay consistent, they mess things up, they're just a procrastinator. Or maybe they just don't want it badly enough, right? Meanwhile, there's a deeper, much deeper subconscious pattern happening underneath the surface. And when you understand this, you stop attacking yourself and you stop shaming yourself. And instead, you start getting a little more curious. You start healing at the root. And because what if this issue isn't that you're broken? What if some part of you simply does not feel safe with the life that you say you want? I know, this sounds strange, because consciously, of course, you want the thing. You want the healthy body, right? You want that loving relationship. You want money. You want the business to grow. You want peace. You want confidence. You want freedom from anxiety, addiction, chaos. But here's the but. The subconscious mind works very differently than that conscious mind does. The subconscious mind is not asking, what do you desire? It is asking, what kept you safe before? And that right there, that is it, y'all. That's what changes it all. And your body remembers experiences. It remembers the moments of humiliation, rejection, abandonment, pressure, stress, fear, whatever, chaos, pain, all of it. And sometimes what happens is we have an emotional experience connected to something. And the nervous system quietly creates an association around it. So let's get some examples here. A woman, okay, so let's pretend this woman loses weight and suddenly receives attention that feels unsafe or violating. Or maybe a child grows up watching their parents fight over money and have the instability, the stress, emotional absence. And so then they have these tied up beliefs around money. Or someone maybe speaks up honestly and gets punished, mocked, or rejected. Could you imagine how quiet you would get after that? A person could slow down to rest and get called lazy. So now you're just in that hustle culture, right? Or maybe somebody becomes successful and suddenly experiences jealousy, abandonment, or overwhelming pressure. The conscious mind may forget pieces of it. But guess what? Guess who doesn't forget? The nervous system. It remembers all of it. And later in life, you can consciously crave something while subconsciously resisting it. And that resistance can look like procrastination, self sabotage, freezing, numbing, people pleasing, overworking, quitting, avoiding, starting and stopping, or constantly recreating the painful, the same painful cycles. And most people never realize the pattern is protective. And meanwhile, you think it's failure. This is why forcing yourself usually doesn't create lasting transformation. It's because if the nervous system believes something is dangerous, it will fight to keep you in the familiar, even if the familiar hurts. And this is where I think, actually, I know so many people become exhausted because they are trying to mindset their way through a nervous system issue. They are trying to discipline themselves into safety, and eventually you burn out because underneath it all, there's still a subconscious belief saying it's not safe for me to become this version of myself. And this is one of the reasons I became so passionate about the work that I do, the hypnotherapy, all the subconscious work, Reiki meditation, all of this nervous system healing and these tools that I use all do that deep work now. Because surface level advice often doesn't even touch the root. You're talking in circles half the time. And when you finally reach the root, y'all, guess what? Things can shift so quickly. Absolutely so quickly. And let's be real for a moment here. I've seen this in myself too, you guys. Like, I'm speaking from wisdom again. This is where I like to go, you guys. I am talking about myself most of the time here. There were seasons of my life where I wanted expansion so badly, but another part of me was absolutely terrified. And if you listen to my story, you can understand where this fear was showing up, but it was showing up in my business. Terrified of being visible, terrified of judgment, terrified of disappointing people, terrified of being misunderstood, terrified of success meaning pressure, responsibility, or exhaustion. And from the outside, that stuff can all just look like inconsistency, but internally, there is a war. There is a war happening between desire and protection. And I think so many people are living there right now. Especially, I'm going to call you all out, those high achieving women. I know you. I know you because I was you. Women who have survived hard things, okay? Women who learned to hold everything together. Women who became hyper independent. Hello, I'm going to just raise my hand right now, y'all. Women who learned to stay in survival mode for so long that peace itself now feels unfamiliar. And if peace feels unfamiliar, the nervous system can interpret it as unsafe. And that's huge because when people unconsciously recreate stress simply because stress feels normal, that's their new normal. Like that is what feels comfortable, familiar. So I want to give you a few things to sit with, okay? And I really encourage you to not rush through these. Take a moment, meditate, sit with them, journal. Just allow yourself just to notice what comes up in your body. And ask yourself this: what do I deeply desire, but continuously struggle to receive or maintain? And when I say maintain, maybe it comes and it goes just as quickly as it came. You get it and it's gone, and you're in that cycle of it coming and going. And then I want you to ask what might feel unsafe about having it, and not logically or but emotionally. And if you had that relationship, what would feel vulnerable? If I had the money, what pressure might come with it? If I lost weight, what attention or visibility might come with that? And if you step fully into your power, who might judge you? Who might leave? What identity would you have to release? And these are questions that can unlock a lot. Because often underneath the sabotage, there's fear. And I am very familiar with fear. That has definitely been a pattern that has repeated a lot through my life. But underneath the fear is protection. And underneath that protection, there's usually a version of you that needed safety. So let's get to the good part, the beautiful part. The goal is not to shame yourself for these patterns. The goal is not to force yourself harder. The goal is not to bully your nervous system into transformation. The goal is to create enough safety internally that your mind and body no longer have to fight the future your soul wants. And that's where transformation becomes sustainable. That is where healing deepens. That is where people suddenly say things like, I don't know why this feels easier now. I stopped craving that thing. I finally feel calm. I'm responding differently. I'm no longer reacting the same way because the subconscious pattern has shifted. And when the subconscious shifts, your reality starts shifting too. This is why I care so deeply about the work that I do, because I don't just want people coping better. I want people free, wild, free, like just feeling good and light. I want people connected to themselves again. I want people trusting themselves again. I want people understanding their patterns instead of hating themselves for them. And I think sometimes all people really need is someone who can help them see the pattern clearly, feel safe enough to process it, and guide them into a new experience. And that is where healing accelerates. And that's where lives change. So if this episode has spoken to you, resonated with you, if you feel seen in this conversation, if you're realizing there may be subconscious beliefs or nervous system patterns quietly running your life, I want you to know this. You are not broken. Your system may simply be trying to protect you the best way it knows how. And the beautiful thing is, those patterns can change. You do not have to stay trapped in cycles that no longer serve you. And if you're ready to go deeper into this work, through hypnotherapy, conscious work, Reiki, meditation, coaching, or combo sessions with me, I would obviously love to support you. You can find ways to work with me through my website, through social media. You can book a call with me, send me a DM on social media, or email me, whatever is easiest for you. If this episode spoke to your soul, I think it's time to do something about that. And if you feel called to share it with someone who maybe needs this reminder too, please do. Because one realization, one shift, one moment of feeling truly seen can completely change the direction of a person's life. Until next time, you are the magic. Thank you for tuning in and for doing this work, not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. If this episode stirred something in you, trust that. Share it, leave a review, send it to someone whose soul needs it. Your voice and your ripple matter. And if you're ready to go deeper, to explore your past lives, heal your patterns, reconnect to your soul, or work with me one-on-one, head over to tuneintowellness.com or connect with me on Instagram. Until next time, trust what you feel, honor what you know, and remember, your soul already has the answers. Be bold, be light, be you. I'll see you next time on Soul Knowledge.